I am not even going to pretend that this is not one of the best looking featured images on DrewTolbert.com. Look at that. It's beautiful. It's got a guy. I don't know who that man is, and he's in a nice suit. And it's eloquent. Yes, I just said eloquent. Anyway, so today I am talking about what was formerly my most popular blog post, and that is this human greed European roulette system. When I was writing this article, I thought I was a lot more famous than I was. Even though it turned out to be very, very popular, it ultimately, I withheld some information from it. So I'll tell the backstory behind this. Okay, so with European roulette, I created a strategy so that I could literally win. Always, basically. I would always come out on top. And you can do this too. The issue is you're always going to lose. And you'll never work out. So I'll tell the story. I was telling this to a friend of mine, and we worked together as an acquaintance, work acquaintance, and we started talking about the European roulette wheels and these online casinos. And basically, I told him that, there's a roulette methodology that if you double your bet every single time, you'll win. You'll recoup your losses as long as you have the money to cover it. And he's like, well, how many times in a row could you lose, though? And I'm like, well, that's really subjective. Like, there's no real way to know how many times in a row you would lose. He's like, because if you double it every time, it will get out of hand. And, I can just show you right quick. This is very stupid, but if you bet $1, that's twice, 3 times, 4 times, 5 times, 6 times, 7 times, 8 times, 9 times, 10 times, 11 times, 12 times, 13 times, 14, 15, 16, 17, 18, 19, 20. You can see it gets out of hand really quick. That was at 20, I think. But anywho, the logic is if the wheel lands on red or black, you double your bet, and then, if you lose or if you win, you place your money on red. You double it the next time if it was black. You double it the next time if it was black, so on and so forth. The way that the casinos work, though, is the fact that that is very boring because you see the risk of $16 to only earn $1, right? So if you lose this many times in a row, you're losing up to that much money. And so eventually, the casino wins because it could potentially go higher and higher and higher until you run out of money and can't place a bet anymore. So you'll see a lot of times a table will have a limit, like say $250. And it's because, statistically speaking, after 9 times of landing on one thing, it should land on the other. That doesn't necessarily hold true. It's just no different than flipping a coin. But before you try this, I'll explain to you exactly what happened with the story. So I did it, and my friends did it, and I'll tell you what was kind of left out here. So my friend decided he was going to do it. He downloaded a game, just an app off his cell phone, and it worked out pretty well for him. He earned thousands of dollars. He started out with like $25. And so he's like, well, I'm going to go to the casino. He lived in a town called Wetumpka, Alabama. It's near a Creek Indian casino. And he's like, I'm going to go to the casino and I'm going to try this. And I'm like, there's online casinos. You could probably just do it from the privacy of your own home. And so we found places that would double your money. If you, put down $20, you could make 40, they'd let you play for 40 and stuff like that. Well, one day we get into work. He's really upset. He's like, man, those casinos are rigged. And I was like, explain to me what happened. He's like, well, I was doing that and I was winning. I was doing good. I'd gotten up to like $200, $300. And then I decided to start doing it with $2 every time. And so basically he cut out one of the doubles. Well, whenever you do that, you have to have more money, right? Because if you're going to try to get to 9 times now, you have to do the double 9 times instead of just, 8 essentially. It's really the 10th time if you're betting $1, but it's the 9th time if you're betting $2. I know math, it hurts your brain. But anywho, so he got greedy. He didn't follow the system. Well, I actually one-upped him. I told him about another idea that I had. And I was like, well, technically you could do this and win every single time. He's like, well, how would you do that? I'm like, you put one on red, one on black. And red wins, you win $1. Black loses, so you put $2 down. So every single spin, you're technically winning. So mine was blown. He went out and did it again. Guess what? $300 in. One just hits like crazy. He ends up betting too much money. I think he did $5 that time. He ends up losing it all. So I found a casino that would give you free $25. And I was showing the system to my brother, actually. And I told him, I'm like, this is just crazy. If you do it, and you do it small, you'll always win. We get down. Literally, I'd built up about $500 or $600, and literally doing the exact same system, I ended up losing it all. I didn't have a dime lost, truly, in it, because they gave me a free $25 chip just for signing up or something to their email list. But it was crazy because I still lost the money. And then, I say I lost all the money. I didn't truly lose it because they did have a table limit. So I had like $64 left, and I was like, this sucks. I'm not going to play anymore. And just gave up from there. So if you're listening to this and you say, well, this is a good idea, I'm going to do this. Don't do that. It's a terrible idea. It's not going to work. You're going to lose all your money. Trust me. Well, not trust me, because trust my friend. He lost every time. But you're going to say, I'm not going to get greedy like your friend. Yeah, you will. 100%. Now, if you do it, this is the economical way to do it, I think, would probably work more so if you spread your risk out a lot more and use, just $5-10 that you earn here, doing this little trick, and then went and spent it on like the slots or something, and maybe potentially would win a bigger prize because you're pretty much playing with free money. If you just like playing the games, do that. Don't invest money. I hate gambling. It sucks. It's stupid. It never turns out. It never works out right. So don't do this at all. But again, if you're gonna do it, free money, number one. Download an app. Impress your friends. Give them the warning. Don't do it because you're always going to lose money. So, yeah. Don't do it. I'm telling you right now, don't do it. Thank you for not doing this, but subscribe.